Implement school dress codes. It is no surprise if your child is not a fan of the school dress code. However, it is a rule and needs to be followed. Dress codes are implemented to make schools as safe and inoffensive as possible. Your child's dress is not only representative of his or her personal style, but it can also reflect you and the values you have taught your child. Know the rules. The best way to implement anything is by knowing the rules that pertain to it. Most schools give you a handbook for students and parents at the beginning of the year that outlines all the rules and consequences, including the dress code. Read through this handbook to make sure you understand it. Point out the dress code rules to your child and make sure he or she understands what is acceptable and what is not. If you did not receive the handbook or have misplaced it, contact your school for a replacement copy. Know what your child is wearing. It is not necessary to pick out your child's clothes on a daily basis, but you should know what he or she is wearing when leaving the house. If your student tries to leave without following the dress code, it is your job to get him or her to change into something more appropriate. You can help with this by only buying clothes for your child that will meet dress code requirements. If he or she wants clothes that are out of dress code, then your child will need to save money to get them. This way, the majority of your child's wardrobe will be dress code compliant and there will not be as big of an opportunity to slip. Enforce the rules. Set consequences for your child if he or she resists and is caught out of dress code. Make these consequences clear to him or her and stick with them. Do not let your child use excuses to get out of the punishment. Responsibility for his or her own actions is necessary. Being called by the principal when your child is out of dress code is not the end of the world. In fact, it is most likely more embarrassing for your child than it is for you. Take the right clothes to school and deal with your child later in the privacy of your own home. Society today is becoming more and more accustomed to a style of dress that may not be appropriate for the school setting. As a parent, you need to make sure your children understand what is expected of them in regards to the dress code and the consequences if they do not meet those requirements. Quick tips: lead by example. If you want your child to dress appropriately, you need to as well. Make sure your student understands the dress code and the consequences if it is not met. Do not back down once the terms have been laid out clearly and understood by both parties.